Hey, good afternoon, everyone. A lot of problems where problems already started, especially certain people on voucher programs. Here's what it means. Do you, let me show you here. Let me get to, so you can be able to read it. Um, so, do you live in a HUD or a USD housing, knowing your rights during the government shutdown? This was a resource of September 2025. So, what happens during the government shutdown? The government shutdown means that the federal agency must stop most activity until Congress passes the spending bill. Shutdowns can be delay the receipts of many government benefits like rental assistance, Medicare, SSI, especially if the shutdown lasts a long time. Um, it says here, so I live in HUD or USDA housing will be affected. Most tenants who live in HUD and USDA housing should be experience disruption in their housing because the shutdown. But continue to pay your portion of the rent. If the shutdown lasts past November, your rights might change, and you should contact your attorney for update information. Check out the our tenant flyers in English and Spanish is available if you live. Housing, HUD housing, including Section 8 vouchers, public housing, projective base Section 8 housing, and USDA housing, including Section 515, Section 514, 516, farm housing, and rural housing vouchers. What if I do if what should I do if the HUD and USDA housing my landlord tries to hike up my rent during the shutdown? Contact your attorney. You can find free legal help through the WWLSC government or at WW Law Help, or when meeting with your attorney, bring your lease if you have it. If previous notice from landlord or management company. I'm an active attorney advocate. How can I help HUD tenants enforce their rights during? So there's that. And let me look at something else here because this affects a lot of people here. Um, Let me see here. This is what affects the shutdown. What does? Let's continue. Um, so what does the shutdown affect? Um, United States Postal Service is not affected by the government shutdown as it does not national funding. A government shutdown will halt service like environmental, food inspection, close national parks, the IRS, and they were talking about because of airport security, they're not going to be paid because that's under the federal, and they're saying, well, you need it to work. Well, if they can't go make it work, essential services such as Social Security, Medicare, military options, and federal law enforcement have until midnight Tuesday, September to void, which it didn't make it. So President Donald Trump and the congressional Republican and Democrats cannot agree the government funding bill by the deadline on Wednesday, October the 1st. The government will partially shut down. Here's what to know about United States Post Office is or isn't affected, shut down, as well as a list of services that will and won't be impacted if the government shuts down this week. Now, the United States Post Office is affected by the government shutdown. Mail carriers deliver post in snow, rain, extreme heat, and government shutdown. The Postal Service will not be affected because it does not depend on congressional funding. What agencies are affected by the shutdown? See list services here are the few government funding service effect. Rather they are rather they would shut down or not. not Social Security or Medicare. Social Security benefits will continue without interruption. Environmental food inspection would be halt during 20. It would have been halted in 2018 and 2019. Shut down the FDA reinstate food inspection. No veterans benefits. Veterans continue to receive benefits as medical care without disruption. Internal Revenue Service, in the event of the shutdown, the IRS will verify income, Social Security numbers will be not able to perform the service. Supplemental SNAP through funding for SNAP program mandatory. The ability to send out food stamps benefits could be affected by the shutdown. Not military. Active military personnel stay on the job through half of the Pentagon. Civilian employees may be face furlough. Health and Human Services, National Institution of Health would be prevented from admitting new patients and processing grant applications. National Nuclear Security Administration, the agency remains operational. Not law enforcement, federal law enforcement agency, including the FBI, DEA, and the British staff remain operational. The Secret Service and United States duties. National parks, monuments are closed. Rangers are furloughed. Facility shut down. Although some states may temporarily fund operations. Border and Homeland Security, Border Patrol, and Immigration Enforcement agents remain on duty. Local governments will not receive new aid for migrant shelters. Transportation, airport security screeners, and air traffic controllers stay on duty. New hires, but they're the ones who will not get paid. Upshot may impact airport operation. Not congressional pay. Lawmakers continue to receive their pay. Suffer staffers and furloughs, but essential personnel continue to work. White House, most of the White House staff is for furlough. However, essential office such as National Security Council continue to operate. The president's salary remains unaffected. So Congress can still get paid, but some of these people are getting kicked out. Their staffs and stuff for furlough. It's unfair. So they're see what happens. I hope they get this going again and stuff. So who knows? Well, I'll talk to you guys later. That's the update. Bye now.